Having said that, there are some cons, bro. If you have ever talked to one of these individuals, you will definitely know there are some strong, egregious cons about the FBA group of people. The second con I would say right now is that there is a hyper focus on immigrants, okay? The term is tethers. Everyone's a tether. If you don't agree with an FBA, whatever it is they're saying, you're a tether. Oh, you're a tether. Let me see who your parents from, where they come from. It's a very just aggressive way of trying to dismiss any type of contrary opinions or any type of contrary thoughts or perspectives that, may be, foreign to this group of FBA. So,
oh man, Mr. Lucas, wow. You're going to get a lot of backlash. Now, this is a 5-month-old video, and I was reluctant to even do a take on it. It had me thinking a lot because I know the division that exists within the phrase FBA and, the black immigrant community and black people in general who disagree with certain things. So I was worried about it, but I checked out my brother, Javon Bernadez. He been dropping some bangers, and I seen he was touching base on this. I didn't even know Lucas had a video on this stuff because I stopped watching him a little while ago because he's very left leaning and it's not really my cup of tea. He dropped the video and I'm like, damn, I gotta check it out. So without further ado, here we go.
Having said that, there are some cons, bro. If you have ever talked to one of these individuals, you will definitely know there are some strong, egregious cons about the FBA group of people. The first con that I would say is that there is no leader of the FBA because they want to say that it's a lineage and not a movement and it's not a group. Even though there is definitely a founder of FBA, it's copywritten and everything. So without a leader, there is no structure. And without structure, there's no movement. And what many people are conflating is movement for progress. So without a leader, it's just a bunch of people identifying as FBA. You FBA, I'm FBA. Okay, cool, whoop-de-whoop. And it's just it's nothing more than a circle jerk. And that's unfortunately what many of these, these conversations have become. It's nothing more than people identifying as such, but no progress is being done. And what I mean progress is that there is a goal in mind and that there is progress being made towards that goal. Nothing is happening. That is unfortunate, because there's a lot of potential there that's just being squandered because nobody has a leader. There is no one to look up to. So if there's no hierarchy, then everyone's a leader. And that's where we get problems.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
I thought this point was something that we could focus on in terms of when you're saying FBA and there's no leader, it does present an alarming amount of problems because yes, you can be something that you claim to be a lineage, fine. But behind this construct of FBA, it was at its inception something to promote reparations, also something to fall under an umbrella, so to speak, where there's a goal in mind. And anytime you have a goal, there must be structure. Ergo, there must be a leader. So we're going to carry on to Lucas' second con that he's touching base on.
And the second con I would say right now is that there is a hyper focus on immigrants, okay? The term is tethers. Everyone's a tether. If you don't agree with an FBA, whatever it is they're saying, you're a tether. Oh, you're a tether. Let me see who your parents from, where they come from. It's a very just aggressive way of trying to dismiss any type of contrary opinions or any type of contrary thoughts or perspectives that, may be, foreign to this group of FBA. So they constantly say you're a tether. That's the go-to accusation when they don't like what you say. In times like this, usually this is very much often similar to COINTELPRO. Because what COINTELPRO does is try to absolutely mangle any type of unity, okay? What it tries to do is sow division so that, you're fighting against one another. And that's one of the issues that I have is that I've seen is that you're just throwing this word around, and there are hyper focus on immigrants as opposed to the FBA coons that we have here. And that right there is the issue. This goes back to the leader, is that if you want to talk about a code, but there are no code enforcers, right, of said code, and there's no actual code for this group of people to behave and how to react and how to respond and whatnot, then you have chaos. And that's what seems to happen, is that you have people who are running around saying that they're FBA, acting a fool, being belligerent, being completely inane in some of their, talking points and whatnot, and that is seen as a negative representation of the group. And when that happens, it completely destroys the image of that group. Whether or not you like it or not, that is what's happening, because there is no leadership. There are no guide rails. You have people who are just running around saying anything and everything, but identifying as FBA. And what they say is, just a bunch of idiocy.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
So now you have people who have identified FBA as a group of idiots, as a group of, xenophobes, as a group of this, as a group of that, because there is no quality control. I'll say that. There is no quality control over who is FBA or what FBA gets to say or where they get to say it and yada yada. So you have a bunch of people just hooping and hollering all over the internet. And that is a very big problem. It's a very big problem for anyone who may be, interested in the group, because if the image of the group is already marred, then you don't want to be attached to that. Having said that, I would think that the focus would be on the white supremacy, right? If you want to do any type of pruning of black people, I would think the pruning would be within black Americans here in the country.
Now, Lucas said a lot with this one, and I have noticed the focus, whether people agree or not, it seemed like your op is other black immigrants. No matter what you want to call it, whether it's division in the diaspora within blacks from all around the world, it's always like that. Black folks always choose the lowest part of the totem pole in terms of the perception. It's easier to attack someone else that is disenfranchised, someone else that's viewed as nothingness. And that's what I see when I'm going through different conversations, debates, etc., whatever. It's never civil. It's always, if you disagree with me, you're a tether. And even if you have hundreds of years of so-called lineage from chattel slavery in the United States, if you're a black person that disagree with anybody that wants to claim the term FBA, you're a tether. There is no what's, ifs, buts, nothing. You're just a tether. And what happens is you have people that can't really have a pivotal conversation or make their point because they're so prone to disparaging remarks. And that's what I noticed. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. The majority of people who say they are FBA, from my point of view, you could say I'm wrong or not, but it seems like even the diction, even the words they throw at you is all from Tariq Nasheed. It's never an original thought. It all comes from Tariq Nasheed. And it's all cool, but just own it. Don't act like you just woke up and started talking this way.
And the third con that I would see to the FBA movement, or lineage, whatever they want to call it, is that there is no political understanding. If you have come across any of these FBA individuals, they usually talk in talking points, or they're usually regurgitating things they've heard from the founder of the FBA or from other individuals, and there's no sense of political awareness, right? They don't know anything about Congress. They don't know anything about the three branches of government. They don't know how a bill is formed. They don't know how to get bills. Damn. They don't know who their representatives are. They don't know who their mayor or their governor. They don't know anything about politics, but yet they want to talk about politics. And that's where the disconnect comes with a lot of people, because they talk about, oh, we want to have, hashtag cut the check, hashtag cut the check. And it's like, well, how do you get this hashtag cut the check? Have you thought about the numbers that are needed to hashtag cut the check? How many people in Congress do you have that are for reparations? What's the marketing plan to get, the mass, group of people, the constituents of the members of Congress, to get them in line, to get this to be a movement where everyone sees this as a benefit to the country, as opposed to, oh, they just want handouts, right? There's a lot of planning, there's lots of structuring, there's a lot of organizing that goes into, a movement like reparations. It goes into certain things. And these people, based off of how they talk, they're completely ignorant of that. They just want it to happen. Just do it now. You did it for them people. You did it for them. Do it for us. And it's nothing like that is easy, especially when you're talking about black Americans. That's not how that works. So this barrier of political understanding becomes a barrier to entry to actually do anything. So when you have no leader, you're focused on tethers, and there is no milestones, right? Because usually any type of organization, you have milestones that you're trying to reach. Hey, I want to get this bill passed, or I want to at least get this bill formed, or at least I want to get, 3 Congress people, on this bill. Or hey, I want to get this in the community. You can start small within the community. Hey, I want to do this for the community. Off of this, I want to do this, right? Instead of, putting money into a museum, which people don't go to. How about you put money into maybe, an apartment complex, right? And then you give black people, a place to stay. Or you give the delineated group, right? The Foundational Black Americans, hey, this is, a place for these group of people, and you find a way through the loopholes of the country. I mean, we're seeing it with white people. We're talking about, hey, this is for white people. This is a white town for us and with our culture, yada, yada. I mean, you got white South Afrikaners in South Africa who have places that are strictly for white people in there, and nobody who's not white can enter. So there has to be a sense of community. That community in these areas, that can be focused. That can be a target, right? Where you have BLM, if they can have chapters, why can't FBA have chapters throughout the country? Why can't that be shown as a sense of, hey, there are a group of people, who are descendants of chattel slavery in this country, who aren't immigrants, who aren't, just, a people of color. There's a specific group of people with a specific lineage that have a specific entitlement to this land. There's a specific relationship with the country. And, these are the chapters in this community, right? In Philly, or, in Georgia, right? In LA. That can happen. But as I said before, one of the biggest cons is that there's no leader. There's no one organizing that. There is no structure to this. It's merely a word that people say to say, I'm FBA. That's it. And it can be so much greater. So much can be done, but without a leader, without any organizing, without any planning, without any strategizing, without any understanding of the political landscape, it becomes a cesspool of degenerates and loudmouths.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Now, Lucas was touching on a lot right there. Personally, y'all, I'm not going to tell anybody how to do what they're trying to do, whatever the end game is, whatever their purpose and goal is. I'm never going to, you feel me, infiltrate with my thoughts and opinions in terms of how you get this done or accomplished. Because for me and people like me who are actually out here doing the work, footprints in your community, not just loud and braggadocious online, we're actually doing the work, which in part is one of the reasons why I haven't been able to make consistent videos, and I'm trying to work on that, is because I am preoccupied with what I'm doing right here for black people. Regardless, because you have some people who claim to be FBA. If you disagree with them, fuck whatever you're doing out here. Fuck who you are. They don't know you, your background, nothing. And that's where the conversation is at a dead end, personally, to me. And if you paid attention, Lucas said this thing could be so much greater. The concept could have been so much greater. Personally, if you do enough research with who Tariq Nasheed is, I would say don't throw all your eggs in one basket with him at the helm of pushing anything. Regardless if you say it's a lineage, not a movement, not an organization. What I'm telling you is, if there is a Tariq Nasheed involved, there are some red flags. But I'm going to speak from the heart. I didn't write anything down. I'm not trying to be this, brainiac dude. I'm just speaking from the heart, man. A lot of people get derailed with COINTEL agendas and anything that seems so divisive that would have you believe that there's no unity. In real life, outside of the internet, there is civil discourse, people. There are people in unison, people that are friends with people from all over the world, especially in the black community and the black diaspora at large. And I just don't want that to escape you guys. I don't want somebody to have a bad experience and then paint everybody with one brush. That's not fair. That's not humanity. And this is what happens. There's a lot of clan rhetoric and similar traits with a lot of the online folks that claim to be FBA and trying to push a certain narrative, because you do have people that are genuine about why they choose to call themselves FBA. But what happens is others, there's infiltrators all over the world with any group that's being formed or organized, or even if you want to call it a lineage, fine, but there's always infiltrators, right? People that will derail what you're trying to build and trying to accomplish. And this is why you get so much pushback when you think everyone's against what you hopped on, because let's be real, this only started a few years ago, so you hopped on it, which is fine, but just understand everything that comes with it. But in reality, folks, for the most part, I don't know about y'all, but I'm good, man. I get along with black people from all over the world. I ain't got no problems, man. End of the day, I bet on black, and I hope y'all do the same. Like, listen to me, for better or worse, I bet on black. I love the skin I'm in, you feel me? So that's where I am with all of this stuff. I really think the division that we see online gets hijacked and people try to portray this as something that happens in our everyday lives. I don't agree, but more power to you if, you know, you just want to immediately bombard me with all type of comments. And you know, your favorite word is tether and anything. If we don't agree, whatever, I get it, but I'm fine with it, because I know there's young folks that are paying attention to all of this back and forth, and there's no good that will come out of it on both sides of the aisle, man. I'm telling y'all. But this was Reset with me, Shaq, and I do think a lot of us need to reset the direction we're headed in. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this in the comment section. I'll meet you there.
As Muslims, we identify ourselves with the dark world. So we're not any minority. We're part of the majority, and the white man is the minority. You have to know this to understand us. We don't think any odds are against us. We don't fight a battle like the odds are against us. Why, the whole dark world today is in unity. It's one. If you don't think so, look at the United Nations. When the dark world votes, they vote as one. They get in the colonialists out of Africa and out of Asia, telling them to get out. They don't have any nuclear weapons, but they got a solid, united voice, and their unity alone is sufficient to drive the oppressor and exploiter of their people out of their own country. You and I need to learn a lesson from that right there. In the UN, the dark world consists of Buddhists, Hindus, Shintoists, Taoists, Christians, Muslims, everything. But they're together. They forget their religious and political differences. They think as one. They move as one against a common enemy.